And the New Jersey legislature voted to approve a $500 tax rebate for families with children that earn $30,000 or less. The other new addition from Republican Governor Phil Scott was he introduced the Vermont Child Tax Credit at the beginning of June, enabling households to receive a $1,000 tax credit for children under 5 in families earning $125,000 or less per year. The program is expected to benefit over 30,000 people in Vermont. And Senate Democrats are at a sprint to accomplish as much as they can before the start of the midterm elections. Chuck Schumer announced progress over the 4th of July weekend in negotiations with Joe Manchin on a budget reconciliation bill. Now, the Senate Republican Whip John Thune predicted that the Democratic absences will limit the chamber's agenda this week. Talks between Schumer and Manchin on elements of Biden's Build Back Better plan picked up momentum over the past few weeks. This comes as they reach an agreement on a proposal to lower the cost of some prescriptions and to increase taxes on wealthy individuals who earn income from pass-through businesses. The estimated $203 billion in revenue raised by a tax increase will be used to extend the solvency of Medicare's hospital fund by 3 years. Manchin is already coming under criticism from special interest groups for supporting 3.8% tax on individuals who earn more than $400,000. All done through annual income from pass-through businesses. And Americans for Tax Reform, a group that favors smaller government and lower taxes, said the same tax proposal is going to raise around 1,800 tax filers in West Virginia, slamming it as a $250 billion tax increase on small businesses. Manchin told reporters, "There's people talking back and forth," but added that he remains concerned about the impact of the legislation on inflation. Schumer's other top priorities for the bipartisan bill, sponsored by Collins and Shaheen, that will cap out-of-pocket insulin costs at $35 a month. But that proposal is already running into stiff Republican opposition. A group of GOP senators, led by Senator Pat Toomey, sent a letter to the Senate Finance Committee, asking it to review the insulin legislation before it comes to the floor. The lawmakers wrote that Schumer's plan would bring the bill to the floor this month and would not allow a key committee of jurisdiction to weigh in.
Thank the chair for yielding. Mr. Speaker, this is a bill that has to pass if we're going to keep government operating. And the chair of this committee has worked very hard to get that done. And she's been successful as chair of moving most of our bills through this House. The Senate has not yet moved any of its bills, as it did not last year. But this is an important, critical part of our process to fund the government, keep it operating, and invest in the priorities of the American people. And that's what we're doing today on these appropriation bills. I want to thank Chairwoman Rosa DeLauro and members of the staff of the Appropriations Committee for their hard work on this package. Once again, our majority is passing appropriation bills in a timely manner. Sadly, as I said, the Senate has yet to bring any appropriation bills to the Senate floor. Today's package funds about a quarter of the total expected discretionary funder for next year. It reflects the budget request from the Biden administration and in some cases funds programs at levels we have determined should be increased. It also includes community project funding for investments in our communities that will help improve public safety, encourage economic growth, and fight poverty. Bringing back community project funding was an essential tool in helping to restore Congress's power of the purse. I add that it was done in a bipartisan way, and it was done thanks to the chair in a very transparent way. We wanted to make sure that more funding decisions are being made by the members who know their districts best. There is much to celebrate in this package, which is why I rise in support of this package. Many important and worthwhile investments in the American people, in our communities, in economic opportunity, and so many areas. I'm not going to go into all of them, that will be discussed. But I do want to highlight just a few of the important victories in this bill, particularly for the constituents and communities I represent in Maryland's 5th District. First, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, this bill moves us a major step closer to realizing a new, badly needed, consolidated FBI headquarters, a critical national security project that many of us have worked on for more than a decade. In fact, I started working on this in 2009 when the then director of the FBI said this building is very out of date, does not accommodate the work that we need to do, and we must have a new building, and requested that there be a campus-like setting where all of the
price of essentials going up. So, the Back to Work program in Connecticut just gave a $1,000 check to the first 10,000 unemployed individuals. About $10 million was allocated for the program. In Florida, some teachers and employers will receive a $1,000 payment. Teachers and first responders were eligible. The one-time payment for workers in Florida was a thank you bonus to those who were working during the crisis. Last year, Georgia paid full-time and administrators $1,000. Part-time teachers received $500, approximately 230,000 K-12 teachers and staff were eligible for the payment. The city of Chicago will also be giving $500 to 5,000 low-income families as part of its guaranteed basic income pilot program. The payments are expected to begin this year. Maryland also gave eligible residents payments for $500. According to the Comptroller's office, a total of 422,000 Maryland residents were eligible to receive these payments. Tell me, everybody, in the comments down below, is your state doing the same thing? Has your state given you a state stimulus check or even a local stimulus check? Tell me in the comments below. So we have some really great news, and it's that Joe Manchin is ready to negotiate again on Joe Biden's Build Back Better bill. The IRS has announced that many Americans are eligible to receive a check worth up to $5,000. Now, the relief payment is coming out very soon, so you want to keep an eye out on this. Everyone, there's a ton of information, a lot of developments that are happening in Congress, and it can be a very confusing time, but remember, I'm here to give you the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, so don't worry about it. The season is starting 17 days earlier than last year. Tax filing season begins Monday. The IRS has said that taxpayers should remember a few things before submitting their returns, as if they want to avoid lengthy delays, especially for those anticipating a refund. Now, any errors can slow down processing of the return and sending back a refund. The IRS said to be sure to collect all documents before preparing for your tax return. Included in that are letters the IRS sent out this month related to advanced child tax credits and the third stimulus checks.
Again, we can pass this. We just don't need program failure.
Okay, I just want to lock this down before I move on to the $3.5 trillion. You're saying that if Chuck Schumer goes ahead and puts a cloture vote to cut off the possibility of filibuster on Wednesday, that it will fail?
I just don't know how you have a cloture vote when you don't have the bill written, when you don't have the pay-fors established. And so, if you will, he's asking us to vote on things that they've not cooperated on how we bring it about. So I have to kind of get my mind around how do we vote on something which is not yet written as we try and get it right. We can get it done, but if they refuse to cooperate on the pay-fors, it's not going to pass. They know that. And so, again, how do you vote for cloture on something which is not yet